proud like other women. I've told him it's abuse, but he doesn't see anything wrong in it. The woman is just losing weight and fading away. Should I tell her she's being emotionally abused or mind my business? Well, this is the question tonight from Sally. Sally is asking, should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused, or should I just save my book and mind my business? Stanley is talking about the fact that his neighbor's wife is constantly being emotionally abused, and to him, he doesn't think that that's okay. In public, this his friend always smiles at his wife, and people envy their marriage. Stanley says he has never heard him beat her before, but he knows for sure that he raises his voice and the entire compound can hear him call her names like trash, useless, a mistake of a woman and wife, and even insult her for not contributing anything to the home because she's a stay-at-home mom. Now, Stanley says, me and this guy in question, me and this my neighbor, we are somehow close friends. I don't even know what that means, but he says we're somehow close friends. But I don't know the side of him. He says he loves her, but he does all that to humble her so that she doesn't get proud like other women. I have told him it's abuse, but he doesn't see anything wrong. As he says, the woman in question, and that's his wife now, the woman is just losing weight and fading away every single day. Should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused or mind my business? Should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused, or should I mind my business? Well, that's the question tonight, coming from Stanley. And of course, as always, the phone line is open. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 917. You can also send in text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. And you can call 07000 917 917. Now, please, whatever you do, make sure that you turn down the volume of your radio when you're calling in. Turn down the volume of your radio so that we can have a smooth flow of conversation. Also, when you call, please keep your comments down to about 2 minutes maximum. To 2 minutes maximum so that we can take comments from other people as well. If you want to listen live, you can do that by going on the website www.wfm917.com. 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 Also, you can download the Women Radio app on Google Play Store and iOS. WFM 917 is what it's called. You can download it on Google Play Store and on iOS as well. Now, go ahead and call in and tell me your thoughts about this particular story tonight. Stanley is saying this man constantly abuses his wife emotionally. Now, this is not physical abuse because he says he has never heard him beat her, and I believe that also implies that he has never actually seen him beat her before. So the physical violence is not even part of it. Physical abuse is not part of it at all in this case. Now, it may be included in the mix, but Stanley is saying he cannot bear witness to what he doesn't know. So he has never heard him beat her. He has never seen him beat her, but he has heard, and I'm sure even other members in the compound would also have heard that he has called his wife names constantly, calling her stupid, calling her trash, calling her useless, calling her an excuse for a wife and a mother, and it goes on and on, calling her an excuse for a wife and a mother, and it goes on and on and on. The list goes on and on and on. And if you're very in tune with yourself or with the way the psyche works, then you'd understand that if you tear somebody down consistently, at a point they start to believe that they're worth nothing. They start to believe all the lies that you've told them. They start to really be in tune with the conditioning that you've constantly given them through the insults that you've constantly thrown at them. So they start to believe the lie as their truth. And in no time, it really breaks their spirit and it makes them less of the people that they really are. And according to Stanley, directly or indirectly, this is the exact aim that his neighbor is trying to achieve. And I'm not being a man hater or a shader at this point, because he literally says it. That Stanley says it in the story, that he says he loves her, but he does all that to humble her so she doesn't get proud like other women. Why would you want to humble her? And what do you mean by proud, like a name specifically? Is she a bad wife? Is she being a bad person? What is it that she's doing that makes you feel the need to humble her? See, that statement hits me on a lot of negative levels. Because why would you want to humble another human being? Why would you want to do that if you don't already feel superior to that person? If you don't feel like you're bigger than the person, better than the person, why would you want to humble the person so that they will be beneath you and they can look up to you? And not in the look up to you like the role model kind of way. No, not in that kind of look up. Like look up, like depend on you for everything that they need, for their very existence. Because that's the only way you get your kicks. That's the only thing that makes you happy. That's the only way you know that you're recognized as a man. Because otherwise, that makes no sense. So Stanley's question tonight is, should he tell his neighbor's wife that she's being emotionally abused? Now, another part that's not in this story that Stanley wrote in says he doesn't think that she knows that that's what's happening. He doesn't think that she knows that that's what's happening. She's pretty young, so I think the neighbor himself is in his 40s, and this lady is in her early 20s. So maybe she doesn't know that she's being emotionally abused. I cannot say why the age difference is that massive, but I'm guessing maybe that's how things are for them. But what is your contribution tonight? 07000 If you are anywhere close to that family or close to that house and you hear all of this happening, would you even feel the need to say anything? Because that's basically what Stanley is asking tonight. He's saying, should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused or mind my business? What are your thoughts? If this was you living close to this person, or if you're in Stanley's shoes right now, and you witness all of that day after day, day after day, day after day, would you say anything to this woman, or would you mind your business? Hello, good evening. I don't know if I know about you. Keep it locked. I should have bought you flowers. Turn your radio on. We are WFM 91.7.
Our friend Oliver is what you call a man with a huge appetite, gigantic artery. And if there's one phrase we have come to know Oliver for, it is this: more data, please. No matter what we offer him, more data, please. So, guess what we did? We heard Glo created new data plans for people like Oliver, and we got him exactly that. And guess what Oliver said? Excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me? Now, Oliver said, excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me? Now, Oliver certainly has more than enough data, all thanks to the Glo Mega Data Plan. With the longer validity you get on Glo Mega Data Plans, you can work from home with ease, run your business better, download non-stop, stream music and movies endlessly, learn online, and share data with anyone. No worries. 225 gigabytes at 30,000 naira for 30 days, 425 gigabytes at 50,000 naira for 90 days, and 1 terabyte at 100,000 naira for a year. Dial star 777 hash now. Start enjoying these mega plans.
My children are surprises. Adane buys my favorite 3 Crowns milk regularly. And as for Chinedu, that one makes it rain with monthly upkeep. They even plan to take me to Dubai someday soon, so I can see Burj Khalifa and other fine places.
Win your mom a trip to Dubai. Buy 3 Crowns milk products worth 2,000 naira. Write a note to say thank you to your mom. Post it on www.3crowns.com.ng and she could be one of the lucky winners to Dubai. Terms and conditions apply. 3 Crowns milk. Healthy.
nyocha anyị mere gosipụtara na enweghị ihe ọbụla mere ndị ọzọ riri ya bụ ofe egusi nwunye dị ugwu mmasị.
Ya bụ ofe egusi tọrọ mkpịsị eze. Dọkịta,
ọ nwere ihe a mere mgbe m na ezinụlọ m ji egbe ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19. Ụfọdụ nwere arụ ọkụ na isi ọwụwa mana ụfọdụ enweghị ihe ọbụla mere ha. Igwe etu ahụ mmadụ si anabata ya bụ ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 dị n'iche n'iche mana ihe ndị a abụghị nsogbu ọbụla. O nwekwara ọtụtụ ndị ọ naghị eme ihe ọbụla n'ahụ. Ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 dị ire dịkwa ezigbo mma n'ahụ iji chekwaba mmadụ site n'ọrịa COVID-19. Enughị ndị be anyị o nwere onye ga-eji maka obere arụ mgbe ị pụrụ inweta mgbe ị họrọ ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 wee rapụ ije gbuo mgbochi nke ya. Chekwaba onwe gị, ezinụlọ gị ya na ndị agbata obi gị si n'aka ọrịa COVID-19. Jee gbaa ọgwụ mgbochi ọrịa nke gị. Ọ maka ịhụnanya.
afọ m bụ afọ ikpe abụ m onye isi n'ike eletrik
anyị chacha mgbe ọ bụla ihe mere ma ọ bụ na mba ma ọ n'ụlọ
bọs gara aga Thomas nwere ahụ obi mgbu oke ụkwara ya na nsogbu ikute ume mana Thomas ekweghị na o nwere ike ịbụ ya COVID-19 na-eme ya ọkọwa
mana ọ bụ ya bụ Thomas jụrụ ijere ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 mgbe ndị ụlọ ọrụ ha niile ya na ndị agbata obi ya jere gbaa ọgwụ mgbochi nke ha. Thomas sịrị COVID-19 is not my portion.
Ịbụ onye na-eme ka Thomas ọ bụghịkwa ndị vileji na-emego.
Chekwaba onwe gị, ezinụlọ gị ya na ndị agbata obi gị si n'aka ọrịa COVID-19. Jee gbaa ọgwụ mgbochi ọrịa nke gị. Ọkwa maka ịhụnanya.
Akụkọ a bụ akụkọ gbasara enyi abụọ Thomas na Ọgadimma. Thomas jụrụ na ya na ezinụlọ ya agaghị agba ya bụ ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19. N'otu ntabi anya Thomas na ndị be ya abụọ butekwara ya bụ COVID-19. N'ime ọnwa ole na ole Thomas nọrọ n'akwa ọrịa na ụgwọ akwụkwọ siri ya ike. Nwanne Thomas bidoro n'ịkụ nwa ibu ya buga n'ụlọ ọgwụ.
Anyị agbala mbọ anyị nwere ike ịgba mana
enyi ya nwoke bụrụ Ọgadimma ọrụ ezinụlọ ya niile jee gbaa ya bụ ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 mgbe otu onye na be ya butere ya bụ nje COVID-19. Naanị obere ahụ iwe nke o nwere na-agbakekwe nke ọma. Gị bụ onye na-ege ntị, ịbụ Thomas ka ịbụ Ọgadimma.
Chekwaba onwe gị, ezinụlọ gị ya na ndị agbata obi gị si n'aka ọrịa COVID-19. Jee gbaa ọgwụ mgbochi ọrịa nke gị. Ọkwa maka ịhụnanya.
Anyị ahụ sitere n'ihe mmemme ọchịkọchị na redio onye ga-agba anyị kwụnyezi onye ọkachamara soshal midia ọ na-akọwara anyị ihe mere na ya nwa achọghị ịgba ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 chaa.
Hello, ọ bụ Ada Bingin na-ekwu. Ebee ka onye mgbasa ozi soshal midia gị a si enweta akụkọ a niile ọ na-akọrọ anyị maka COVID-19 vaccine?
Ana m eweta ozi ndị a site na blogs osi news.
Ya bụ na akụkọ niile ị na-agbasa na soshal midia maka ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 esiteghị n'aka ndị WHO, NCDC maọbụ MPHCDA. Ejizina ndụ ndị mmadụ egwuregwu.
Ị chọrọ inweta ozi zuru oke maọbụ eziokwu gbasara bụ ọgwụ mgbochi COVID-19 gaa n'akara ịntanetị webụsaịtị ndị WHO, NCDC nakwa MPHCDA. Chekwaba onwe gị, ezinụlọ gị ya na ndị agbata obi gị si n'aka ọrịa COVID-19. Jee gbaa ọgwụ mgbochi ọrịa nke gị. Ọkwa maka ịhụnanya.
Wetin dey talk na? Omo shey don see the result? I know it's one thing, but trust you na one guy. How you dey now? Fine. You also say small house party go dey place tomorrow. Okay, say we dey expect you for here tomorrow.
What stress?
6 p.m. sharp.
Why you dey rush talk now?
I see. My credit go so finish me.
For this blue economy, when your credit dey finish,
I bet you another thing.
the 11 per second now to the make calls as low as 11 per second to all networks. E dey available to new and existing subscribers. Terms and conditions dey sha o.
Ẹkùnrin wòyí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nínú Olúwa èmi ní olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Adébọ̀ Adégòkè mo ní ìròyìn ayọ̀ fún ẹnìkan tó ń gbọ́ mi. Ètò ìbánisẹ́ ìpàdé àdúrà ní èdè Yorùbá láti ìjọ Mozambique Christian Ministries International Freedom Arena ní ìlú London yóò máa wáyé bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ Sátidé láago 2 àárọ̀ lórí Women Radio. Lórúkọ Jésù ìwọlẹ̀ nìkan Jésù Olúwa.
Bye.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind. How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for all that means. At the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for all that means. We should arrest Nigerians from this is Panorama.
Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5 a.m.
WFM.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You too can join the conversation by tweeting us at WFM917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, Voice of Women.
Time for change, to unmask the truth, to unmask the rot in our communities. Unmasking the truth will focus on the effects of corruption on women, prefer solution and demand for accountability. Unmasking the truth will be on this radio station every first Monday by 5:30 p.m. And we ask you to join us to condemn corruption, to demand for accountability, and to work there. Unmasking the truth is an 27 minutes past 6 on Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. If you're still tuned in, you're welcome. This is still Adult Conversations, where we share and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight on Adult Conversations, we're profiling the story of Stanley. You can call in to 07,000 917 917. You can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Alright, if you're just tuning in, this is a story from Stanley, and he's saying this in response or in reaction to something he has noticed with his neighbor and his wife. And the neighbor's wife, that's what I mean. Alright, so he says, my name is Sally. My neighbor's wife is always being emotionally abused by her husband. In public, he always smiles at her, and people envy their marriage. I've never heard him beat her, but I know he raises his voice and the whole compound can hear him call her trash, useless, a mistake of a woman and wife because she's a stay-at-home mom. Now, he says we are somehow close friends, but I don't know this side of him. He says he loves her, but does all that to humble her so she doesn't get proud like other women. I've told him that it's called abuse, but he doesn't see anything wrong. The woman is just losing weight and fading away. Should I tell her she's being emotionally abused or mind my business? Hello, good evening. Good evening. Tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Lady B.
Hello, Lady B. Good to hear from you by this time. Thank you for calling.
Yes, thank you. I'm in traffic, so.
I can understand now.
Yeah. I want to ask this question. Is it that the family of the woman don't visit them or what?
No, the family of the woman is in the village, according to what the story said earlier.
Okay, so the guy is a friend to the husband.
Yes, he's more like their neighbor, but I think they've been living in that place for a really long time.
So sometimes when you are psychologically abused, you get to a point that you don't know what to do again, or you don't know what you are doing again. You start accepting it as if that's who you are. And I think that lady has gotten to a point that, she has lost her own self. So it is big for herself to say, okay, let me walk out of this marriage, or let me go and get some, or let me go and get some, peace of mind somewhere else. So before it will get too late, if he didn't see anybody to peace of mind somewhere else. So before it will get too late, if he didn't see anybody to complain to, I think he should give them help. They have I think they have some association or something like that they can report to. Yes. They can come to the help aid of the woman, because she really need that help before it will get her. She really need that help before it will get her. Because that is eating her up. Yes, I believe so. Gradually, it's eating her up. Which means she's not happy, she did not accept it. So if he can help, he should go ahead and help. At least he will save her life by doing so. Thank you very much. He shouldn't be lying his business. Something that you are being consigned, that means that it's something for him can do something about it. That's why you are being consigned. So you should help the lady. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Lady B says, Stanley, don't mind your business. If you can make contact with the lady's family in the village, then please, by all means, do that. So maybe they can come and make the necessary moves. They can come and observe for themselves, and they can really see what's happening because, they are a family. So maybe they can really tell her the truth about what's going on, if there's anything really going on. And then she's saying, Lady B is also saying, well, another thing you can do is, if you can't reach her parents, you can visit all these podcasts on helping vulnerable women in distress in domestic violence situations, because you may not know this, and I honestly am hoping that we do. I know I said you may not know this, but I'm really hoping that you do. I'm hoping that you know that emotional abuse is still domestic violence. I'm hoping that you know that when you verbally abuse someone, that is still abuse. I'm hoping that you know. And if you don't, well, now today you've learned a new thing. So we need to be careful with the way we speak, the way we talk to people, and the way that we coordinate ourselves around them. This is extremely important, and it says a lot about us to these people. So, what do you think about the story? Do you think that she should mind her business, or do you think she should not mind her business? And I'm not making this about any other thing but the emotional abuse that she's facing, because that emotional abuse that she's feeling, the emotional abuse that she's facing is the biggest thing here in the entire conversation. This man is talking about loving her, but wanting her to stay humble, wanting to humble her so that she doesn't become proud like other women. The first time I read that, I had to read that over and over again. Like, are my eyes saying right? Are there still men out there that think this way? And if you're a man, and for some reason that's your school of thought, that's what you believe in, then I actually want to hear why you do that. Like, why do you verbally abuse your wife or emotionally abuse your wife? You may not beat her up, but when you do all of the other ones, why do you do it? Are you like his friend who wants to humble his wife, or what exactly makes you do something like that? Because honestly speaking, I can't pinpoint one thing. It's an extremely confusing concept to me, because it makes no sense. It makes literally no sense. You can't break someone down to build them up. It makes literally no sense, particularly in this context. If you're breaking her down so that she can build her up, but I'll let you decide. On 1,917 is the number to call. Should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused, or should I mind my business? This particular question is hilarious. Should I tell her, or should I mind my business? At the end of the day, there are three important parts in that story, in that particular whole idea. Two very important parts. You want to tell her, and you want to mind your own business, but at the same time you remember that you're friends with this guy in question. So, is that the best move? Hello, good evening. Mr. Darlington, good evening, and thank you very much for calling.
How are you?
I'm very well. I hope your day was good. In advance, so yes. Same to you, Mr. Darlington.
Okay. That is a saying that prevention is better than cure. It's not enough to say you are neighbors. What are you supposed to do? Somebody is about to into depression and maybe eventual death, and you are contemplating what to do. You know, there are some institutions and agencies that take care of such domestic abuse now.
Yes.
Reports. Yes, reports. You don't need to go for punch your computer. Their names are there. Their numbers are there. Tell them what is happening in that room. They will come on their own to intervene before that woman is becomes innocent.
That's good advice. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington.
You don't even need to identify. Just tell them that look, they will come on their own. They will come and ask them questions there to save their life. To save their life. Remember Utinati? We don't want another Utinati.
We don't. Thank you. We don't. Thank you so much, Mr. Darlington. Thank you for that. So Mr. Darlington is wondering why Stanley is contemplating on this subject. Why are you contemplating this? Why aren't you taking action already? Now, according to him, he says, of course, there are all these organizations that you can reach out to. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The Rest for Her is one of them. Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency is one of them as well. I'll give out the information for Rest for Her and Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. But I do need to say this. It's very important that we do our best, so do our bit in eliminating violence against women. That is something that is topmost in my heart, and I want it to be topmost in your heart as well. But when you think about it, I can understand why Stanley is bringing this story here. You know, sometimes you feel, or you can even tell for a fact, that these people are suffering. They're going through domestic abuse, some sort of domestic abuse, to help. Then maybe you go report, and then, you know, the people responsible, the authorities, they come over to your house and they try to observe, trying to see what's going on. And when they finally ask you, like the woman, I've heard of cases where the woman literally said, "Oh, he's not beating me. He is not beating me. Oh God, I don't know where they hear this, where they hear." And on a normal day, you think about that and you can see where they're coming from, because now they will still did that house when those police people come out. So after they don't come out, after those police people, because you know, say as they come, so they don't go come out to you immediately, saying except maybe they feel like you're directly there's a direct threat to your life. But other than that, I don't think people come in and they just take you away from the place because they know you're being abused immediately. So there's a whole process to it. And if you're acknowledging the process, then it makes sense that the woman in the presence of her husband will deny being abused, because she knows that once they turn their backs, he's going to beat her black and blue. And that's what she's trying to prevent. She has altered her entire personality, thing that she likes because he doesn't like it, so that she can be the person that he wants her to be, and she will not be the person that he wants her to be, and she will not be the beat down machine at every point in time. So again, understandable. But Mr. Darlington says you can see that somebody's hurting. Talk to these agencies, talk to these organizations. Maybe they can help. So, do you agree with this school of thought, or do you not agree with this school of thought? Well, let voice be heard on this one. Contribute by calling 07000 917 917. Also, you can send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening. Yes, Mr. Darlington.
Yes. You know, some women are so traumatized that, in fact, the abuse may make them lose their identity. They will so subdue that they can't even talk. Now, if you are one person and you do not make any move to say that, if she now says, won't you live with the guilt? Won't you? I know, I saw it, but the woman, he was talking of so many things. But by that time, it is too late. So, in this age of smartphone, look, there are so many things.
to get evidence. They will force that woman to open up. There are different things. They know how to handle such matters.
Of course.
They might even place you on observation. They will come when you don't expect. The man might even call them during the heat of the argument. They will walk into that house and drag the woman away from there, at least for her own safety.
Of course.
There are so many things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. 20 minutes to 7 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is still Adults Conversations. Tonight's story is a bit sensitive, so I would advise and I would appreciate it if we approach this with so much delicateness, with the delicateness that it deserves. Appreciate it if we approach this with so much delicateness, with the delicateness that it deserves. Thank you very much. I refuse for this to be a trigger for people who are actually being domestically abused, so let us try. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. Thank you for your response. And please keep your calls and text WhatsApp messages coming in. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. This is Adults Conversations on Women Radio 91.7.
So last music.
Let's go. Plays all the hits.
Latest 91.7 Women Radio.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you? Text message to 0703 175 6537.
If I tell you all this plenty airtime and data, who are they take flex? That's who dash me people believe.
For this guy, don't know me.
Now, as I buy the grocery like this, I first collect 1,000 and one bonus. Sarah. As I don't recharge, man, you knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Joy.
You mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
For 10 times airtime bonus?
Yes.
Double data again? You always universe now.
The globe like the universe now. You want to try?
Oh, no wonder boys you flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop.
Yeah. My people, don't let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your grocery today. Dial *777# to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus also double data. Offer day for both new and existing subscribers.
In the name of Jesus, I receive this
message to the Ignite Lagos Worship and Warfare Ministry Evangelist Olabisi Adabo.
This is the warfare for your destiny.
Worship Minister Peterson Okobo. Date Friday, September 30th, 2022, from 5 to 8 p.m. Venue is the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. To join the free bus arrangement, reach out to Pastor Timmy on WhatsApp 0814-252-4811. Be blessed.
We can be everything others can. 2023 general election don't come home. Time don't come to move Nigeria forward with our votes. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates. Candidates who know the use play. Candidates who carry woman matter for head. We know make una get una permanent voters card and vote better.
My Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio 91.7 bring una this message.
Ní Women Radio 91.7 àmọ̀rírì rẹ̀ ǹfẹ́ láti súnmọ́ ẹ̀sìn. Ní báyìí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio yóò mú ẹ darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn akẹgbẹ́ obìnrin bíi tiẹ̀ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ 36 ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé oníṣòwò ni ẹ́, oníṣòwò aládàáni, akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nílé ìwé, òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì, ìyàwó ilé tàbí àgbẹ̀? Women Radio wà fún yín láì ná yín ní ohunkóhun. Forúkọsílẹ̀ ní WFM917.com ó
sì tún lè darapọ̀ mọ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio ní Facebook group gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́. A ó bá ọ ṣe ìgbélárugẹ okòwò rẹ ní Women Radio tí wàá sì tún láǹfààní láti máa jẹ ẹ̀bùn tó jọjú lóṣooṣù. Dáúnlóòdù mobile app wa kó o sì máa gbọ́ wa níbikíbi tó bá wà. Ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio yóò mú ẹ ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú akẹgbẹ́ obìnrin bíi tiẹ̀ tó kù.
Women are simply amazing. Great nurturers who spend most of their time, energy, and thoughts juggling life and family. Women are refreshing wells of courage and warmth. Up you, woman. Now is the time to find and identify your true self. Become the best you. Live your true purpose. Up Youth Izine helps you begin the journey and empowers you with hope and inspiration. Tune into Up Youth Izine Kufre Canem every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Up Youth Izine will help you stand up, speak up, shake up, soak up, skill up, and serve up. It's 4 p.m. every Saturday on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Up Youth Izine, finding self, finding purpose.
What are the consequences of corruption on the woman? Silence. Silence through diverse forms. Education, healthcare, laws and policies fostering unfavorable conditions to the woman at all levels. The woman agenda, breaking that silence, demanding accountability, transparency and good governance. The woman agenda is deliberate and calculative in amplifying the voice of women. The woman agenda, Fridays 3 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7, a platform on the way forward. Thirteen minutes to 7 on Women Radio 91.7. This is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. It's with great pleasure that I'm still here. My name is Tunde Titilayo Ajama. You can join me right now on Facebook and on YouTube at WFM 917. At WFM 917, that's our handle on Facebook and on YouTube. You can connect with me there, and of course, you can ask questions, you can leave comments. Yes, you can totally do that. As well, you can call me on 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. You can talk about the subject, and I want you to give advice, Mercy. Give advice to Stanley, because it's the advice that you really need at the end of the day. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 917. You can always send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Now, what are your thoughts concerning this story tonight? Stanley is telling us that his neighbor's wife usually emotionally abuses her, and he has heard her call her different names across different times, and it looks like it's not stopping anytime soon. So right at this point, he says he's looking at her, he's watching her fade away, she's losing weight, because her husband continuously calls her names, continuously calls her names, and it's names from like trash, useless, to good wife, to good mother, and then it goes on and on and on again, and it's a terrible situation. So if you're Sally, because Sally is asking right now that should I say something or should I mind my business? Should I say something or do anything, or should I just mind my business? And the reason they're asking this, of course, because we don't live in a society where people value the next person's opinion anymore. Right now, they don't really care, because we don't live in a society where people value the next person's opinion anymore. Right now, they don't really care. They don't really care. And you can't show how you, there's a way that saying it's push. You can't show how much you care by I'll get that right. So what are your thoughts to Stanley? You want him to sue? Now imagine you were in these shoes. What would you say to him? What would you say to Stanley? What would you say? Yes, kudos. Great job, man. Great job. Or would you say, hey, this country is terrible. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to talk to my neighbor's wife. What would you do? Because you're not about to pursue her, but it is just because you're not about to say, oh, I like the neighbor's wife for anything. That's why you're saying this. That's not the case. But you clearly know that there's something off with the way he treats her. So I'm not even sure how to put this. I'm not even sure how far it goes. But Stanley is talking about the fact that she's pretty hit with words every day. You know, he denies her food sometimes, denies the children food sometimes. It's right there. Everything you need to know is set there. But it can only be a situation, we can only hope that it's a situation that is not particularly the same thing, so to speak. What are your thoughts? What do you think tonight? What do you think? I said that so many times. What do you think? What do you think about the story? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? 07,000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07,000 917 917. You can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What is your advice to Stanley? Yeah, I don't think so. Mind his business is not a bad idea, particularly because anything that concerns me and you does not directly concern your wife and any other expenses. But in this particular case, you get written it won't bring out for this story. You get it won't come out for this story that's not to exchange those documents might be the way big it is. What am I talking about? It might be anything. It literally might be anything. But you know, it looks like there's an entire situation and he saw that play out and he felt okay, maybe he needs to talk to this neighbor's wife. Maybe he needs to talk to her. And remember that in this kind of situation, it's not really easy. It's not really easy to speak out, particularly when there's a police officer. It's not easy. It's not really easy, for being honest. So, what is the advice? What is the advice? Text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts on this? How do you want this to play out, and what is it that you think that can work well, that can work to our favor at this point? What are your thoughts? I want to hear them. The quality of bringing up a child is not dependent on the kind of parents that he had. It's not solely dependent on that. It's really not. So, I know to put that out there so that we can truly understand what this is when we're communicating. It's very important that we do communicate, because you never know if there will be any plan changes or anything like that. So in this case, let us just grow thicker skin so that we won't have to accost the speaker as he speaks. What are your thoughts tonight on Nigeria as a whole and how we've come from being under Nigeria as a whole, and how we've come from being under untold situations? That's almost literally how Stanley's wife feels. No, not Stanley's wife. Stanley's neighbor's wife. That's pretty much how she feels. Like she's troubled and tormented, but it can't be a session that come out. There's nothing she can do. She just did it, and that part actually confuses me sometimes. Sometimes it's a weird story that at the end of the day you're trying to figure out which part of it you said, which part of it didn't you say. It's a lot if I'm being honest. But this doesn't say that you should not give advice. This doesn't say that you should not give advice. What are your thoughts, Phil? No, I see what's happening. I see what's happening right now. Okay, well, I'm just going to ask this, and this time is talking about Iris Medicare. Pardon me, this one is talking about this particular story of Stanley and emphasizing the fact that he's asking, should I tell her that she's being emotionally abusive, or should I mind my business? So, I'm leaving that decision to you to take. But while you're taking it, I'm sure you want to make a call. So put the call through and let's see how she goes. Put the call through and let's understand precisely what is happening. Call us at 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. So that's the number 07000 0703 175 6537. So, what do you refuse to do? What are you going to do in this one? I'm just going to have time, and that is basically the entire situation. I'm not going to stress myself. I'm not going to make a big deal out of anything, but I'm just going to take my time and literally enjoy my life. And I'm saying this because it's one thing for Stanley to be looking at this family as their lives are going, and it's another thing for Stanley to try to say something that wasn't received, because that's basically where he keeps going. So at this point, I'm more than worried, because I'm like, is this a situation where it looks like nothing is happening? By nothing, I mean somebody can just beat anybody up and make it into a big deal and nothing would happen. So yes, that is extremely worrisome, and I would like to know your thoughts on that. So he's saying, I think she's being emotionally abused. What do I do? Do I need to do something about it? Do I need to not do anything about it? What is it that needs to be done? What is it that needs to be done? How is it going to do this? If he decides that, okay, I don't want it to be done, how is it going to do this? If he decides that, okay, I don't want to tell anyone, but I just want to use it for my own thing and all of that, at the end of the day, it's like going back to square one, so to speak. But let's forget about all of that and focus on the task at hand. So, what's going on with that? What's going on with calling, with texting? But most importantly, what do you think is going on with the fact that he constantly keeps emotionally abusing her and nothing changes? I don't know what that is. I honestly don't know what that is. But I want to believe that it is not that much of a big deal. Let me put it that way. I want to believe it's not that much of a big deal, but you can call it a really big deal too, because again, things are just happening the way they are, and it could lead to something bad. It can lead to something bad. So it might not be happening to her badly, but it can lead to something bad. So what are your thoughts? Stanley is asking tonight that my neighbor's wife is being emotionally abused. He doesn't beat her, but he has heard her call her trash, call her this, call her that, call her stupid, call her and now it's like, everything is just unfolding as things go on, and it's a sad situation. Let me take this call. Hello, good evening.
How was your day?
Fine, thank you so much. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
Gloria from Alimosho.
Okay, hello Gloria. Thank you very much for calling. Please go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the topic for today, for me, if I were to be in that woman's shoes, I would rather leave the house. Because being abused emotionally is very extreme. Actually, I went through that myself from my family. I was abused both physically but emotionally. So I know what it means to be emotionally abused. Although in my own case it was from my family, so what I do most time is sometimes I'll just give myself a pretty space, try to stand up for myself, and also sometimes I'll just involve myself in things that makes me happy. So I want to think of all those words that have been said to me. And secondly, I agree with what Lady P said. I think the guy should not be quiet. He should seek for a professional help for her. Maybe probably contact some NGOs that are involved in that. And let her understand. And I think he should also talk to her.
Okay.
Let her understand that what she's going through is not really ordinary.
So he should create that form of awareness through his wife.
Yes, he should create a kind of form of awareness to her. Let her understand that what she's facing is not something she should just take like that. She should stand up for herself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't even know how to begin, but I do have to say thank you very much for that particular message. It really just shed a bit of light on every single aspect and concluded very nicely. Thank you very much. All right. I'm sorry from a perspective of she doesn't know what's happening. Maybe she's young and she's just in that space and she's always thinking, my husband is not in a good mood. He's not in a good mood. So at the end of the day, you do your best. You do your best to ease the situation, so to speak, in that family where you're being emotionally abused, but at the same hard against that from happening. You're trying to guard against the abuse from happening. Now at the end of the day, it's like you're really trying, but there are no results. And I feel terrible to hear that. So, what is this thing that we can do? How can we implement this? How can we work on this in a way that this information can reach where it's supposed to go? Because honestly speaking, a woman that is being emotionally abused is being broken day after day, day after day, day after day. A woman that is being emotionally abused is being broken day after day, day after day, day after day. Broken. And so it's like there's no exit strategy. You're just in that space and it doesn't see much. It doesn't seek much. So you are basically just taking it all in, and just literally suffering and smiling. Literally suffering and smiling. You know, there's a part in the story that says her husband, in public, her husband smiles at her and people envy their marriage. Now, so people go there and they talk, say, oh, God, I beg go. Every time they see it, and all the variations are different. They're not going to say, get this kind of thing where they happen at that point in time. So it feels like it keeps going back and forth because his aim, as I said, is to humble her so that she will not be proud like other women. You know, I would like an explanation for that from any man right now. You know, you can call in to the end of the show and let me know what you mean by what state of their mind. What does that really mean, dude? What does that really mean? So 7,917 is the number to call. 7,917. Please make sure to send in your name and contact number. Send in your name and contact number. So whatever the case is, you would be able to tell that, okay, something is wrong with this person. But after you can tell, what can be done? So if you're done, finish now, what will come from? That's the next question. So sometimes it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done sometimes. Alright, Ceci Otebayo is saying, the lady is dying in silence, but you can tell her now and it can lead to something else. It can lead to something Stanley will regret for the rest of his life. The lady can later tell her husband all sorts or summon courage to tell her. My name is Ceci Otebayo from Other Place Way, Alcota. Thank you so much for the messages. Please keep them coming in. On Panorama, you can actually call 07000-917-917. It has to be female-centric stories, so you can obviously see that that's what we're discussing or we will be discussing today. So, looking at things from a medical point of view, sometimes I'm wondering what is it that's being done in the first 4 years that is not being done, later on. And then it's a bit confusing, if I'm being honest. But I'm not going to spend too much time deliberating or talking about that. I just have to mention that. In cases like this, in fact, in lots of domestic violence cases, there's no one size fits all. There's no, if you handle it this way, there's no one size fits all at all. So that means it takes a level of intentionality, and I'm hoping that pays off. But then again, it's not even, intentionality is not the issue, because we're not talking about something good. We're talking about something inherently negative. This man is literally abusing his wife, emotionally abusing his wife. Now, I can understand if she's tried to speak out before, but it's like nobody understood what it was that she was trying to say. So it's a really depressing situation, and I hope she's still tuned in so that she can know what to do going forward. It's an interesting conversation that you don't want to be. You don't want to be hurt. Okay, you want to be there, right there, to see what's happening and how it's happening. All right, so I'm over here just thinking, interesting. I like. But it's sometimes it is surprising that what you want is not necessarily what you need at this point in time. But this is not. When I say there's always an exception to the rule, what you want is not definitely what you need. Might be irregular, but in this case right now, it's like one person is being subjugated and the other person is being looked up to as a superior. And we can't let that keep sliding. What is it that should be done? And Stanley is asking the mother of all questions. Should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused or not? Should I tell her? Because if I say she don't know, she make her tell her, make her not tell her. How not take care? When you think about the story, do you think you should talk to her with medication, telling her, oh, this is what you're supposed to take, or what precisely? Because it's just a tricky one, and I'm hoping that there's no negativity of any kind, because honestly sometimes all you need is the ability to put yourself back together. But that's if you know that there's a problem that broke you in the first place. If you cannot identify the thing that hurt you in the first place, then how can you get clarity? How can you know what to do next when you don't even know if the thing that's happening to you is correct or wrong? You don't even know. So this is to say that there's a lot going on in it, and that Stanley talking to this woman about her husband does not necessarily say that he's going to cheat. Doesn't necessarily say that he's going to cheat or that he's cheating. It's just basically talking about life generally, talking about how far they've come, what they've done, and the roads they've blocked, and the cars they've affected. It keeps going on and on and on, and it feels like there's not so much to be thankful for here in Nigeria, but there is. And you will see that in a moment. I'm hoping that with every day that passes, things get better and better and better until perfect day. So I don't even know where to move this into now, but I do have to say that emotional abuse is still abuse. In case you ever thought that because it's emotional behind it, it is less of an abuse. My brother, you're wrong. My sister, you cannot be more wrong. That is most definitely the wrong issue. So it's like we're on side A, you're on side B, and they were trying to put it together. But beautifully, I mean, in this type of situation, I don't necessarily see it putting together here, because this woman is suffering. She's going through a lot, and a lot is going through her. But here's the question, and this is what Stanley is asking. She make her tell her, say, they don't be. She make her tell her, say, she did emotionally abused. She did emotionally abused, or make her just face my book, mind my business. I can't wait for this school. Mind my business and let things be, because that's also important. It's really concerning to me, because there's so much in this entire situation, and looking at someone just suffer every single day. He wrote it in the story, the woman is just losing weight and fading away. What does that tell you? She's been in that situation for a while and it hurts because they don't even know what it is that is going on. So it's just a sad situation generally. It's a sad situation generally. But I do say that maybe we should always look for the silver lining here. Always look at the silver lining here, and hopefully we'll see that sooner than later. I'm just here waiting to hear from you. I want to hear from you concerning this. Is this a mind your business situation, or is this someone that would be open to assisting whatever it is that's going on with that situation? It's important to know, because if you cannot trace your life to anybody and say, okay, if I really need this person can reach out for me. If I really need this person can reach out for me. Sometimes we may not have some people, if we're being honest. But if somebody like Stanley is looking from another side of that same building and hearing all of this partner after partner, it's definitely something to be worried about. So what is it what is it that should be done, that Stanley should do? Should he talk? Should he talk to her first? What do you think? Should he talk to her, see how that goes? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 917. We can always what's it called now? We can always cut it. You can always make it a bit less, and by that I don't mean cutting anything of note. It's basically talking about cutting anything that does not belong to your current growth. That is especially important. That is important, very important. So why don't you call in and tell me your thoughts? Why don't you call in and tell me your thoughts on this story? He's saying, should I tell her that she's being emotionally abused or not? Minutes past 7:13. 30 minutes past 7, 13 minutes past 7 on the Radio 91.7. Still adult conversations. And as I said before, if you're just tuning in, you are welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for staying with me. And I'm going to go through this story one more time. Now, this is story, and this one's coming in from Stanley. Stanley is telling us that his neighbor's wife is being emotionally abusive towards his neighbor's wife is being emotionally abused by her husband, meaning her husband is being emotionally abusive to her. Now, how does he know about this? He says he raises his voice and the whole compound can hear him call her names like trash, useless, a mistake of a mother and a woman, and he insults her for not contributing anything to the home because she's a stay-at-home mom. Now, he says they're somehow close friends. That's what he says, that they're somehow close friends, but he doesn't know this side of this man. He doesn't know this side of him. So he loves her, according to what this guy has told him, according to what his neighbor has told Stanley. He loves her, but he wants to humble her so that she won't be proud like other women. He loves her, but he does what he does. He talks to her that way to humble her so that she won't be proud like other women. And Stanley says, I've told him that this is abuse and he doesn't see anything wrong with it. The one is just losing weight and fading away, and this is according to Stanley. So he's asking, if the woman is just losing weight and fading away, like life is just terrible for her, should I tell her that she's being emotionally abusive or mind my business? Should I tell her? You know, sometimes telling them is a risk. It's a big risk because you're putting yourself out there. And putting yourself out there is indicative of two things. Number one, that there's abuse. You already know that there is abuse. And already know that there is abuse. And if you don't react to it the right way, it will definitely be an even bigger deal than what it looks like. Because to be honest, it looks like there's so much to see, and without conquering all these different hurdles, you won't end up seeing anything at the end of the day. You know, you want to go out, you need to take permission to do it. You need to. It's just a difficult round of situation. It really is. It really is. But this is what Stanley is asking: should I tell her that she's being emotionally abusive, or how? Should I tell her that she's being emotionally abusive, or how? That's the question. So, what do you respond to? What would you say concerning this? I'm taking calls. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. So, it may never be the same again in the sense that music has taken a different toll of things, a different toll of music, movies, life, love, hustle, bustle, everything. A lot of things have taken over like the daily realities of people. So for someone like Stanley, he's probably thinking, when I have all this distraction, waiting for Sammy concern these people. But it's obviously bothering him. So he's saying, should I tell her or mind my business? Hello, good evening. Good evening, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Well, my name is Samuel. I'm calling from Turkey.
Samuel, you're calling from where?
From
From Tui. Okay. All right, Samuel. What's your contribution?
Well, I'm really from the guys who got because that's kind of emotional abuse. Because
Okay. Alright. Thank you so much, Sally. Let me ask you something. Samuel, Rafa, is this something that you would do if you see somebody that's being emotionally abused? Would you tell them?
I guess I would tell her. No, I'll always explain with us to be strict.
Yes, of course. All right, thank you very much, Samuel. Thank you for calling. I see where Samuel is going with this, and I totally understand. It's really a difficult situation for you to just act like you can't see the heart of someone. You can't see the heart of someone. You can't see where it is that they're going. But in this case, you can. You can see that he wants to talk, but he just doesn't know how in this situation. So that's why he's asking, should I or should I mind my business? Hello, good evening. Good evening. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, my name is Ziggy. I'm calling you from First
Ziggy. You're welcome back. Thank you for calling, Ziggy.
Thank you. You see, this story is somehow,
Okay, how do you
because I listened carefully to the story. Number one, this lady in question is not complaining. I didn't hear the side of the story that the lady is complaining, but I only hear that she still loves her husband so much despite all the guy is doing.
Oh no, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. This Stanley that's talking now, he's the neighbor's friend. He's the guy friend. So he's the guy that says he loves her, not that she loves him. He's the guy that says he loves her, but he wants to humble her so that she doesn't become proud like other women.
Okay, maybe she's saying that maybe this lady in question, maybe one day she will grow wings.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
In order for her not to grow wings, let him just intimidate and kind of do all he can with his power to make sure that he humbles her. Okay, now on my own on this is this. For a man to accuse a woman emotionally or whichever means, I think I'm not in particular that I can never support it. Why? Because it's even better you hit somebody than you begin to torture the person emotionally, begin to kind of bring the person down in order that you want to humble her or something like that. To me, the guy is trying to compromise something here. He's trying to compromise, how do I put it? He's trying to compromise,
When you say compromise, you mean he's trying to compensate for something?
No. What I mean is he's trying to, have his way, for the wife to respect her through intimidation. And whatever any man compromise to keep in this life, surely lose it one day. So why don't you open up to your wife, and tell her how much you love her and how much you care, and both of you should just iron this out in order not to kind of find out what you are doing in the first place. Because this was now in question, you have to understand one day that you are doing all this just to intimidate her. That thing you are afraid of may hurt you at the long run. Okay, just fight low and love your wife. If I am in the guy's shoe, since you love this lady and she's your wife, love her and pamper her and the kind of tell her, open up your heart to her, tell her how much you love her, tell her how much you care about her. Tell her how much you feel about her. Everyone just praise her. Instead of you going the other way to intimidate, to do this, to talk down on her. If this lady will go out of the street and the kind of she demoralized already, and somebody will just tell her, hey, look at this beautiful girl. She will just be looking at her. And my husband never says so. You understand? My husband never says so. The kind of from there, one thing to another, that thing is afraid of.
When I eventually happen.
Yes, now, because you cannot just try to compromise. I see it as a compromise. You want to compromise the love you have for the wife by intimidation. Bringing her down. This lady my son one day see somebody that will pamper her. See somebody that will even give her a pet. See somebody that will even tell her how beautiful she looks. And because you know it. The lady might be, the kind of so it's better to get her wife how much you love her and now that this lady has not found out what he's doing. Because when telling the whole world who gets to anything that I want to humble her, I want to do this, I want to do that. A lot of those things have boomeranged before now. Boomerang in so many ways, in so many areas. Boomerang because you're not telling her your wife, you're not appreciating. You always talk down for her, you're good for nothing. Somebody might tell her on the Monday, you are so beautiful, you are so good, you are so loose, and the kind of all those sweet things. You may say, am I? My husband never told me, but somebody has been telling me. So what I'm trying to say is, somebody has been telling me. So what I'm trying to say is this. The Stanley, she will just know how she will communicate this to the lady. And she also communicate this to the husband. Guy, this is to go about this. This thing you are trying to hide. One day this lady will find out. And it will be boomerang. better you calm down, tell your wife how much you love her, how much you care about her, how much you cherish her, love her with everything. Tell her the reason why she will not even be looking at other way out. Any other caring man will tell her, first tell this woman. Any other thing that any man will do to her, first give it to her, so that she will not have any reason. Okay, that thing she's afraid of to be looking outside. Because I'm seeing it in my life here, going forward. I'm seeing it that if you continue like this, if you continue on this street, you're always trying to bring her down, trying to turn her down. One day, all these people who have this weak mouth will just try to treat the woman suddenly, and the jumpiness may start happening. The jumpiness may start happening.
Thank you very much, Z. Thank you very much for calling. 24 minutes past 7. This is still Adult Conversations, and we're still discussing the story. Stanley is talking about the fact that his neighbor emotionally abuses his wife. His neighbor emotionally abuses his wife and calls her names and insults her and says all sorts of different things. Now, when I say his wife, I don't mean the neighbor's wife. I don't mean Stanley's wife. I mean the neighbor continually harasses and assaults his own wife. That's what I'm saying. So he does this, according to him, to humble her so that she doesn't become proud like other women. That's what he's saying. Because honestly speaking, it makes no sense to be put in this kind of situation and not be able to do what you want to do or be what you want to do and say what it is that you want to say. It's a terrible situation because emotional abuse is even worse than physical abuse because you can't see any scars. You can't see any scars. You can't see any scars. So I'm wondering, what is it that I'm supposed to know from this engagement? Like, what is it that it's important that it be a lesson that we take home with us? What is that for you? What is that for you according to the story tonight? What is that you've learned that you can take home with you today? Whatever it is, I want to hear it. And of course, let's not forget to call in to give advice to Stanley. Should he tell the wife that she's being emotionally abused, or should he mind his business? What do you mean? What do you think? How do you feel it? How do you understand the whole story? What are your comments concerning this? Do you think that he should mind his business, or do you think that he should go and try to figure things out? What are your thoughts? 07000 917 917 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. Text and WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537 0703 175 6537. All right. Whatever it is that you want to say, I'm open to hear it. Remember, you can call or send a text or a WhatsApp message, and we're right here.
Lastly, you say, let's go. Plays all the hits. Lagos 91.7 Women Radio.
My better people better don't land. Life Medicare HMO now one of that ogbonge health maintenance organization where our government stamp gidigba for health insurance matter. My country people, why you go sick before you cover yourself? What if money no dey when you fall sick? Life Medicare HMO get better health plan and benefit for organized private sector, schools, communities, and even private individuals and families. Life's premium for all their plans dey pocket friendly. Na shikini money. Life's hospital network na all over Naija. They fit help you arrange treatment for obodo oyibo. Their head office na number 2 Osho Street, Okpebi Link Bridge, off Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. For more information, call 080-93-555-863 or 080-3263-9058. I say health protection in your colors. Our friend Oliver is what you call a man with a huge appetite, gigantic artery. And if there's one phrase we have come to know Oliver for, it is this: more data, please. No matter what we offer him, more data, please. So, guess what we did? We heard Glo created new data plans for people like Oliver, and we got him exactly that. And guess what Oliver said? Excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me? Now, Oliver certainly has more than enough data. All thanks to the Glo Mega Data Plans. With the longer validity you get on Glo Mega Data Plans, you can work from home with ease, run your business better, download non-stop, stream music and movies endlessly, learn online, and share data with anyone. No worries. Get 225 gigabytes at 30,000 naira for 30 days, 425 gigabytes at 50,000 naira for 90 days, and 1 terabyte at 100,000 naira for a year. Dial star 777 hash now to start enjoying these mega plans. Unlimited. Sister, I'm moving it from history.
What hustle?
You are divorced?
What? It's God not just.
Well, God hates divorce.
Oh God, what an empty life.
Are you separated, divorced, married, but devalued with thoughts of suicide? You are about to be revisited. The Revisitation Mandate, Rebuilding the Broken, presents the I Will Revisit Your Marital Destiny Conference 2022. Theme: No More Emptiness. With Apostle Sans Peter's Bell Jigo and other anointed ministers of God. Venue is the Auditorium, Blessed House International Church, 21 Akiwumi Street, Mende, Maryland, Lagos, on October 1st, 2022, by 10 a.m. Admission is free. God wants to turn your pain into power. Be there. 2023 general election don't come home. Time don't come to move Nigeria forward with our votes. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates. Candidates wey no dey use women play. Candidates wey carry woman matter for head. Women know make una get una permanent voters card PVC. Make we vote better.
Now, Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Media 91.7 bring una this message.
At Women Radio 91.7, we value you and we are constantly looking for ways to be closer to you. Hence the Women Radio membership to connect you with other women in the 36 states of Nigeria. Are you a trader, business owner, student, pensioner, stay-at-home mom, or farmer? The Women Radio membership is here for you at no cost. Register at wfm917.com. You can also join the Women Radio membership Facebook group. Promote your business on Women Radio, and you also get to win amazing prizes every month. Download our mobile app and listen to us anywhere you are. The Women Radio membership, connecting you to other women. Lunch Vibes, every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That is Lunch Vibes on Women Radio, WFM 91.7.
You know I'm just that type. No, I'm not big deal, my vibe. Whatever you call it, these have to cool. Devil, jeez, or gossip. Best believe we've got you covered 100%. Join me NY and Snow every Friday at 7:15 p.m. 100%. Join me NY and Snow every Friday at 7:15 p.m. for the best of entertainment juice only on Love Food.
Almana Hope Foundation, in partnership with Women Radio 91.7, brings you where issues affecting widows in our society are discussed. Join Hope Wakosi Saturdays, 6 p.m. on WFM 91.7. A widow's window, give you the widows a voice.
Fourteen minutes to 8 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7. 24 minutes to 8. We're still on Adult Conversations. My name is Sumto Titulayo Ajama, and we're still talking about this particular story by Stanley. Stanley is saying, and I'm going to read the story the way it is. He's saying that his neighbor's wife is always being emotionally abused by her husband. He always smiles at her in public, and people envy their marriage. Stanley says, I've never heard him beat her, but I know the man raises his voice, and the whole compound can hear him call her trash, useless, a mistake of a woman and a wife, and even insult her for not contributing anything to the home since she's a stay-at-home mom. We are somehow close friends, but I don't know this side of him. He says he loves her, but he does all of that to humble her so she doesn't get proud like other women. I've told him it's abuse, but he doesn't see anything wrong with it. The woman is just losing weight and fading away. Should I tell her she's being emotionally abused or mind my business? There was an incoming message a moment ago, and I'll read this one coming in from Favor. Favor says, I guess he should call the right authorities because African mothers will refuse to leave their husbands. It's their nature. Help her get evidence. She'll be sad at first, but the future will tell. That's very true. Thank you very much for that point of view. I'm going to go on Facebook and see what's happening there so I can see if you have comments, and I can take those comments. What are your thoughts tonight on this particular story? Do you think Stanley should say something or he should mind his business? What do you think? I'm going to read this one. This one says, Eriko Victor Bodore is saying, you may be saving someone from destruction and untimely death by talking to her. Toxic relationship may lead to irritability. OGME Alliance Cards or Tanera says, oh, God, mind your business before the man starts suspecting you about his wife. Hear the woman seek advice from you first before you can say anything to her about her treatment. And what's another school of thought? That's actually another skill. So that is legitimately something to be a bit worried about. That you'll be the one perceived like you're doing something with his wife, when in reality you're just trying to help. So, is this something to keep going for, or is this something to just hang and say, you know what, I don't think I can do this, or I don't think I can do this, I don't want to be implicated to that point, I'm going to mind my business. Let me know what your thoughts are. And of course, call in to 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Remember that you can also send in text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts? 37. What are your thoughts tonight? Should he tell her she's being emotionally abused, or should he mind his business? If this were you, would you like to know? Would you like to hold and give it a chance to react in the way that you choose to? What are your thoughts on that one? Call me up. We're rounding off in a bit, so I would like to hear from you. What do you think concerning this one? Do you think that it's better off not talking about it, just minding your business and acting like, oh, I didn't even know anything was happening? Oh, what do you mean? In the next room? No, I wasn't there. I don't know about that. Is that what you want to keep doing, or you want to be a part of the effort and a bit of the consideration as well? Be a part of the efforts, be a part of everything that goes on. And of course, because you're not the one directly involved, they will not tell you everything that's happening. But should you tell her about it, maybe little by little? I believe that's what this person sent this message is trying to say. So maybe little by little. I don't really know how to navigate that, but hopefully you do. Hopefully you do, honestly, because nobody deserves to hurt in this type of way. Nobody deserves to hurt in this type of way. All right, I'm going to read this one. This one's coming from a unanimous. I believe that's supposed to be anonymous. And he says, Stanley should let the woman know that she's being abused and let her know she can seek redress before it's too late. My neighbors are always fighting to the extent that the lady will carry a penknife to stab her husband. And at times, the man will want to strangle the lady and their 2-year-old daughter will be shouting and crying. I am afraid they will kill each other one day. Should I report them? And this is coming in from Anonymous. So this is very, very similar to the story that we're talking about right now. The only difference being that we're talking about emotional abuse. We're talking about Stanley being a witness, so to speak, to emotional abuse in the hands of let me put it this way. Stanley being a witness to his neighbor's wife being emotionally abused by her husband. That's what's happening here. In the story that Anonymous just said, it feels like they want to hurt each other and kill themselves. I mean, this one, he said that they're fighting to the point where the lady will carry a penknife to stab her husband. Now, if she stabs him repeatedly, then automatically he dies. And then he is also wanting to strangle her. And Anonymous is saying, look, one day these people will kill themselves. I don't think I want to be here when that happens. What do I do? Well, what do you do? Important question, important question. But because there's a lot of process behind all of this, it's just advisable to visit any of the organizations that have been mentioned so far, just to get the clearer version of all the information that you need and how precisely to go along with it. So that's the first step. Every other thing can come afterwards, but that's the first step. So it's really imperative that we know what we're doing and that it's more of an intentional journey at this point, trying to figure out what it is that you're right for, what it is that he is right for, and then you start having relationships that could lead to anything, and before you know it, it's like a big deal. It's like a big deal. You're 1 year already there, you're 2 years already there, 3 years already there, 4 years already there, 5 years, and then all the dreams that you had before you became a mother just disappears. And that's actually painful, just to say the least. So, if this person is being emotionally abused, despite the fact that she gave birth to these children, she's been living under his roof, why is he putting that in the limelight? Why is he talking about that? Why is that even a thing in the first place? That's why when you say you want to humble her so that what will happen now? I'm not sure. So that what will happen? What is the solution here? Call into 07000 917 917 Call into, I'm not really sure of the context of that particular title. Not really sure of the context of that title. But it's pretty clear that you cannot be in the same, that you can be in the same space rather and have different relationships, have different experiences. If somebody is saying with Stanley, that person may not likely be having the same challenges. They may not, and in some cases they may. But when your intention is so false from the beginning, you know that okay, this person's a career-driven person, and you know that have the time she was going to be doing all the other things that she wants to do, and then you are here trying to hold down the fort and somebody is emotionally abusing you. It makes no sense, particularly in the afternoon. In the afternoon it's kind of touchy because then the children are coming back from school and there's so much that needs to be done before the husband gets back from work and starts saying, oh, where's my food? There's so much that needs to be done. So there's not enough reason anywhere in the world for this man to be treating her this way. So in the world for this man to be treating her this way. So it goes back to my question, which is his question. Should he keep quiet or should he mind? I mean, should he tell her that she's being exposed to
the best music?
Should he tell her that she's being exposed to emotional violence, emotional abuse, so to speak? Or he should not tell her. He should just leave it to her to do her thing and hopefully she understands what's going on. What do you think? Do you say tell her or do you say don't tell her? 07000 917 917 07000 917 917 07000 917 917 is the number to call. Send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts tonight? What are your thoughts tonight? This is Adult Conversations. Hi, good evening. Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's from Mama.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for calling. What do you think Stanley should do?
I want to ask, the lady in question, the issue of learning.
Okay, so according to Stanley's original story, the longer version before I cut it to this point, the neighbor himself is about maybe 42 or 45 in age, and then the girl that he's married to is about 22 or 23. So he's thinking she doesn't even know that that's what is happening. She's just taking it like, oh, there's nothing going on, but that's how he is. But Stanley doesn't think that she knows that it's called emotional abuse.
Okay. What is it? I can advise Stanley for getting contact with the ladies' relation and the problem. Because if you go to maybe to comfort the woman, the husband to take care of her. So basically, if you do the family of the woman to inform the woman to the woman, the family of the woman will not call one day and interview her. That's a mistake. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for calling. All right, Chris is saying something said very early in the show, which is talk to her family. Now, in this case, her family is in the village, but I mean, they're still alive. So if it means contacting them, or if it means trying to find a way to contact them, but at least putting in some effort just so you can find them and they can take up the case. So they can be the ones to come and do the observation, do the ones to figure out everything basically. But if it would be coming from their desk or from their mouth, it won't be coming from your mouth as you, which would now make your neighbor think that there's something else going on between both of you, which could further implicate her. So it's generally better off in this situation. It's not very easy. It's not very easy. Believe me, it's not very easy. It is not an easy journey whatsoever. People start, they never really finish. It's kind of a rat race, so to speak. And I'm saying that because a lot of people are married and they're not having quite the best relationships or marriages that they wanted to. But they're winging it every single day. They're hoping that things will become better. And then it looks like sometimes that hope is too much to hope for. Sometimes it really looks like we're really expanding ourselves and stretching. But in reality, things are not quite the way we wanted them to be. So I don't even know how to go about that. But in this particular story, it touches your heart when he says that he has heard his name. Would you feel the need to do that? Why would you feel the need to do that in the first place? No, but why? Why will you feel the need to do something like that? Why don't you just come in and live your life and have a good time with your wife? Let her know you really love her, and it's not something that you're just legitimately saying. So sometimes it's like, okay, what do we do? How do we do it? What do we do? How do we do it? What do we do? How do we do it? What do we do in this situation is one that is a bit tricky. What do we do as you won't go meet another person's wife, tell her, say your husband disrespect you, be big to your big. How? So you can bear with me that how here is a major challenge. They already know what to do now. The what is like, okay, report to her parents, talk to him, talk to her, try to fix the situation. But when you enter the what now, that's when you realize, oh, okay, it's really not that really big deal that you think it is, but it's very important to come through on certain things. It's very important to continue what we started, to make sure that we're on a good page and to be able to contribute to people tuned in. So we're gradually getting to a close at this point, and it would be the best thing. It would be the best thing if Stanley gets the approval of whoever matters to talk about this properly. I hate to see the men in this kind of situation, and it looks like they can't do anything for themselves. So I'm hoping that today was a package and that you were able to learn a thing or two. I am absolute that things will get better. Given the state of things will get better, and we can make our mark in all these different ways. We can contribute, we can help save the lives of women just by settling all these matters and talking about them in the way that we're on Adult Conversations today. And I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing your day with me. And of course, thank you for all the effort you've put in so far. And it's not the best thing when you love someone and you feel the need to hurt them. It's not the best thing. As a matter of fact, it's not a good thing whatsoever. So I don't know what that is, but if there's a psychological area to it, it might be worth checking. All right. I am sure that Stanley will be able to take an informed decision from the advice you've given tonight. On behalf of Stanley, I keep calling him Harry. On behalf of Stanley, join me again, same time, same station, but this time next week on Adult Conversations. My name is Tumto Ajama. I say thank you to my engineers in duty, and of course, studio assistant Eniola Once again, I'm Simto Titulayo Achaman.
Yes, sir. Let me like I found out that day, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? You come to study, I go by the name of Nazi. You already know the I go by the name J. Willie Zima for the comment. Right now, you're listening to WFN 91.7.
Broadcasting affects your life in so many ways. If you're offended by anything broadcast on this station, it is your right to complain to the station or call the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, on 0803-349-7901 or send an email to complaints@nbc.gov.ng. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.